another thing that you talked about today, which I've never seen anyone articulate it as a complex idea as simple as you did, but essentially how you've gotten equity in companies. If you don't mind, I'd love for you to talk about that for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's just two things, man. And I can give you the sauce. I have a funding company that I can care less about funding. And I really have a coaching program that I really care less about coaching. So coming from where I came from, you had to be fluid. So I have to be who I have to be for the person I'm transforming, right? So if I know that this company is about the struggle, I post myself as a coach. And that's why a lot of people coach, because now if you can respect me as a coach, you're going to come to me with your problem.
No doubt.
So I got into the M&A space, right? Mergers and acquisition space, where I wanted to start buying businesses back in the day.
Right.
But I realized everybody I went to send a LOI to talk about their business, they inflated their numbers. They made it seem like it was way bigger than what it was. And then by the time you bring a forensic accountant in, you realize
you spent so much time
and money.
Yeah.
Right? So now I'm like, how can I do this better? So if I do the coaching route, when they come to me and they need a coach, that means that they feel like they're failing somewhere. That's where I need to hit.
And they're going to be vulnerable with you and tell you the real shit.
Tell you everything.
Yeah.
And if you pose as a funding company and they're trying to get funding, now they also tell you where they need the money at. They need it for personnel. That means they got personnel issues and they probably got high overhead. Right? If they need it for marketing, that means that they either spending too much money on marketing or don't know anything about marketing.
Right.
So what I did is we went to the Philippines and built a huge, we call it a call center, but a development center where we got a bunch of people. So I'm like, well, if we're getting them $4 or $5 an hour and they're trained and they can do all of this, now when the company comes in and they need me to coach them, I can evaluate two things. If they're a good leader and just don't have a system, I would get equity. Right? Because now I can trust that they'll lead and make them. But if they suck at leadership and their system sucks, it's because of their leadership, I'm going to buy them out. And so now what I realized, it was easier to do that, having more information from either the lending side or the coaching side. And now when it comes to, I got a solution for you as a coach, but I'm going to charge an astronomical price because I know that you're not going to pay that, but you'll give me equity. Because most people, they'll hire a coach, but then still want the coach to do the work for them. So if I got to use my resources, I need equity.
I'm sure you figured this out, but like, do you know how genius that is? That's extraordinary that you figured that out and done it successfully multiple times.
And the money looks different too.
Of course.
Because like, I remember where I used to have to be the most popular person in the world to make have $1 million a month.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
And now I'm looking at like $1 million weeks.
Right.
You get it? But I don't have to be the most popular person on social media. I can look at the deposits coming in every month from other companies.
Right. And you're not necessarily doing all the work, managing all the employees, dealing with all the problems, dealing with all the headaches. Right.
Yep. Because you got to have a good leader who's going to be able to do that. Right. And it even helped me create a whole nother business called the CEO Incubator.
Yeah.
Right now, the people who I'm developing and the CEOs, while we're in the transition of buying you out and getting you out of there, I can put an interim CEO in place to make sure we infuse the culture. So it's so many things, so many like arms that you can build just from the M&A space, from the coaching side.
Yeah.
Because when I realized that every business that I either tapped into the equity side or bought from the coaching perspective, all of them did all right. But the ones that I just went and purchased from like a Biz Buy Sell or all of the rookie sites that, with the broker people out there, they fail.
Yeah.
Because, they'll tell you the numbers. You see the P&L statements. It tells you everything but the culture of the company.
Right.
And the culture is something that you don't tap into after you buy it.
Correct.
So coaching, right, is the only way to find the culture of the business before I buy it.
Right.
And, that's going to be the biggest thing because you don't even know what contingencies to put in place until you know the culture.
Yeah.
So, it's just crazy. That's what I had to figure out because I got tired of either coaching people who went out and made a couple $1 million and they'll go hire Grant Cardone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, I got you there. But then now you're paying so much for a coach for the name. And then.
And nothing against Grant or any big names, but shit, the amount of shit that you've given on this podcast and you've given on this stage is more than most of those motherfuckers that I know that got the names that charge stupid money to do it. don't give them the same tactical things that you just gave today.
They're marketers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
I call them dancing bears. You know what I'm saying? So a dancing bear is like when it's tax season and you go and the bear is out there dancing with the sign, saying, come here, come here. But when the bear stop dancing, you don't even see it exist.
Yeah.
And a lot of those are marketers. It's like, the shiny object syndrome, but nobody really transforms. You just get in the room.
Yeah.
That
is powerful.